Mercedes R129 500 SL spark plug replacement. First thing I started with removing the air box. I've got another video on changing the air filters for the same car. This applies to the 5-liter V8, not to the 6-cylinder, obviously. So we've removed the air box first and gotten that out of the way. Careful not to lose your two clips. These two clips tend to go flying on the front of the rocker covers, so make sure to take those out. We're going to remove the covers, the spark plug covers here first. They're just like a plastic screw. I'm going to gently lift the covers off. Yeah, come on. Okay, and you can see the 4 spark plugs on one side, and we're going to take off the cover on the other side, and we'll be back in a second. Okay, I lightly blew out the valleys with compressed air. If you don't have compressed air, just wipe it out. Vacuum it if you have a shop vac if there's dirt in there, because you don't want these getting into the spark plug holes once you take the plugs off. So this is the first time I've touched the plugs on this engine, so I'm checking these plug wires, and they are 1K resistance wires. That means the resistor is built into the wire and into the coils, just like other older Mercedes from the factory that had resistance built into the wires and the coils. Meaning, hopefully what I pull out is not a resistor gap plug. If it's a resistor plug, you can blow all the electronics in your engine. Not a good idea. The plug you want is the original equipment. This is a Bosch, what is the number on this? F8 DC4 non-resistor plug. Hard to find, but when you find them, buy all the ones you can get, because you're going to need them. Let's see what this plug is. An FR8D, R for resistor. Not a happy sign to have in my engine. So, I'm betting the car is going to run a little better without these plugs in there. Too much resistance. Probably get better gas mileage, and it's going to run better without a resistor plug in there. Thank God it didn't blow the ignition control unit. That's like $2,500. Make sure you get non-resistor plugs in these old Mercedes. They do not like resistors in the plugs. If it's a Bosch plug and it's got an R in it, or I think NGKs also have R for resistor. But anyway, as you can see, I don't know if you can see the numbers on this. FR8D, R for resistor. Not good. I'll get back to you. Okay, while you're under here, it's a good time to clean out all the spilled oil from oil changes and oil top-ups that's spilled off and run down in the little cracks and valleys on the spark plug covers. When you're putting your plugs back on, I know a lot of people don't have a torque wrench, and you don't want to put them too tight. So the best way to do it is if you grab your socket wrench in the middle. Don't grab it on the end, because you put too much torque and too much leverage. Grab it by the middle and turn. You're going to put about 10 to 15 pounds of torque on it, and that's about all you need. I'm just going to snug these up and do the other side. By the way, it's a 5/8 spark plug socket. Make sure you have a rubber retainer boot inside that retains the spark plug inside the socket when you're putting it back in, because it's a deep valley and it's going to drop in there. It's a long way down in, and you don't want to be trying to pull your plugs out. If your rubber boot isn't in there, just lay a piece of electrical tape in there and it'll snug up and hold the plug in there. I've opened the gap on my spark plugs about 2/1000 of an inch. That should be it should smooth out the idle a little bit. I am having a little bit of a rough idle, but I think it's these plugs. And it's not much of a rough idle, it's just a tiny bit of a lumpy idle. Barely noticeable. Anyway, I'll finish this up and see what it's like. by the way. These are the old plugs. Not bad, not great, but again, resistor gap plugs, and that is never good in an older Mercedes. Okay, sorry this might be a little dark, but just finished up. This car loves the new plugs. Now that's going to have to go. Capacitor in the back of the dash. Anyway, if you see the idle is rock steady now. It was a little lumpy before. Much better. Averaging about 18 miles per gallon now. I'll let you know what it's doing. Hopefully we'll get up to about 20. Yeah, you can always hope. Anyway, that's about it. Nothing else I can think of. Just remember, resistor gap plugs should not go in an old Mercedes. If it's got an R, it don't go in your car. That's really stupid, but I said it. Anyway, that's about all I got for you.